Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my Week 1 NFL reactions. Oh my goodness, football is so bad. This is one of the craziest Week 1s I've physically ever seen, and we are going to get through it together, and we are going to review it. No disclaimers, let's just get straight into the video. Let's react to Week 1 of the NFL. Hope you enjoy it. Alright, the first game we are going to react to is none other than Thursday Night Football, the kickoff of the NFL season. The Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And as an Eagles fan, this was absolutely infuriating to watch because obviously we have the Spitgate at the start of the game. Looking at the box score now, Dak Prescott was not really that good. He was actually pretty terrible. 21 for 34, only a 61 percentage, 188 yards, no tutties. Javonte Williams ran for two touchdowns, but that was really only because we didn't have Jalen Carter. Miles Sanders had a good run in there, but also had a fumble. And the receiving game was really led by CeeDee Lamb, 7 receptions for 110 yards. That's good, but had 3 ugly drops. Well, some of them were on Dak, but just he almost costed them the game. Only 1 sack, and other than that, no defense literally at all. Looking at the Eagles now, see, listen, the thing is about like my take on the Eagles offense so far. It's been good, but still, why are we only throwing the ball 23 times? Jalen Hurts was nearly perfect passing the ball. He had the best passing performance out of all the quarterbacks. He had a 100 QB rating. Also ran for 2, was effective on the ground. Saquon had a touchdown, but we only targeted A.J. Brown 1 time, 1 reception for 8 yards. The defense didn't get to Dak 1 time, but also had a forced fumble and a fumble recovery by Quinyon Mitchell. In general, this game was crazy, but just there's a lot of things that both teams need to fix. But overall, the Eagles look good, Cowboys look good, everyone looked good. Haha, what did I tell you? Now we got the Chargers beating the Chiefs. Plain and simple. Justin Herbert played like an MVP. He played absolutely insane. 25 for 34, 318, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Also effective in the running game when needed. Omarion Hampton didn't have that great of a day, but was also effective in the receiving game when he was needed. Quentin Johnston had a fairly good day. 5 receptions for 79 yards, 2 tutties. Ladd McConkey had a couple catches in there, but Keenan Allen was the star of the show, the receiving game. The defense came up with a couple sacks and no picks. Looking at the Chiefs now, Patrick Mahomes was also really good. I mean, I know he wasn't very accurate, but still 258, 1 touchdown, no picks. Had a couple really nice plays. The run game was nearly useless, but Patrick Mahomes did also have a touchdown. Receiving was led by Hollywood Brown, 10 receptions for 99 yards. Travis Kelce had a score. I had him on my fantasy. I was a very happy boy. And then the defense at the end really could not do anything. The defense really sold them at the end. So good game, Chargers. Chiefs, I would be worried. Alright, and now we have the Cardinals barely beating the Saints. That is weird. Kyler Murray was very accurate. 21 for 29, 163, 2 touchdowns, no picks. James Conner was not really that good. He wasn't that efficient, but Trey Benson did take some carries away. The receiving game was really led by Trey McBride, if I can even find him. 6 for 61. Marv Harrison did have a score. So did James Conner. The defense really could not do anything. They held him to very little points, but just based off of this, they really didn't do that much. Spencer Rattler was absolutely terrible. I don't know what else I expected, but geez. Alvin Kamara was once again the bread and butter of your offense. There's nothing to talk about the Saints. They were terrible. Cardinals, you shouldn't have beaten them by only 7 points. Like, I would be embarrassed. Now we got the Jaguars beating the Panthers. Plain and simple here. Bryce Young was a fart. Only completed 51% of his passes. Dang, that's terrible. Chuba Hubbard was effective in the run game. The receiving game was really led by Chuba Hubbard also, who had the score, but Teta McMillan had 5 for 68. The defense really came up with one interception, a one-handed interception by J.C. Horn. Dang. But other than that, they really couldn't do anything. They could not stop Trevor Lawrence except for that one pick. I know he wasn't very accurate, but what I got to see, you had to use the eye test for Trevor Lawrence. He looked really good. Travis Etienne, though, was absolutely insane. Brian Thomas even had a rushing touchdown, but only had one target the entire day, 1 for 11. And the defense, honestly, in my eyes, really didn't look that bad. They had a couple sacks and a couple interceptions, and even a forced fumble to fumble recovery by Jordan Lewis. So, yeah, Jaguars looked really good. It's week 1. I'm not going to judge any of these teams too hard, but Panthers, you better get your act together. And now we got the Buccaneers beating the Falcons by a missed field goal. But that wasn't the only reason. I know Baker Mayfield wasn't very accurate, but if you watch the game, dude, he was lights out all night. Bucky Irving, the running game was over in general not really that good, but man, Emeka Egbuka, this kid looks insane. 4 for 67 and 2 touchdowns. Mike Evans, 5 for 51. Sterling Shepard, 3 for 39. This receiving core really misses Chris Godwin, and rightfully so. Defense wasn't able to do much. Looking at the Falcons now, Michael Penix was really good. 27 for 42. He's a gunslinger. 298 and a touchdown. Also ran for a big touchdown. Bijan Robinson, 12 for 24. Not really good in the run game, but absolutely incredible in the receiving game. 6 for 100 yards and a touchdown. Kyle Pitts got involved too. Drake London got involved too. But Younghoe Koo costed you guys this game. Falcons, I would not be worried one bit. You guys played a great game. Buccaneers, you're going to be as good as expected. But Michael Penix, I might be wrong about you, brother. Honestly. Now we got what was the game of the week before Sunday Night Football. We have the Steelers and the Jets absolutely throwing haymakers at each other. Aaron Rodgers was absolutely phenomenal. 22 for 30, 244, 4 touchdowns, not a single interception. That is insane. Jaylen Warren, the running game was actually useless, but Jaylen Warren had a score. Jonnu Smith had a score. Ben Skowronek had a score. Calvin Austin had a score. DK Metcalf had a few clutch catches. 4 for 83 yards. The defense is what you really need to fix. And honestly, I'm surprised I'm talking about that with the Steelers. Justin Fields was very accurate. He was great passing the ball. Even had 2 scores on the ground. Braylon Allen had a score. Breece Hall looked absolutely insane. Jeremy Rucker, 2 for 16. Garrett Wilson, 7 for 95. Had him in fantasy. Mason Taylor, 1 for 20. Josh Reynolds, 2 for 18. The defense, again, surprised I'm saying this with the Jets, but was not really that effective. These two teams looked absolutely insane. Aaron Rodgers, he's still got it. He's still slinging it. Justin Fields, you looked great too. Overall, great game. And now we got the Bengals barely beating the Browns. Interesting. Joe Burrow was a ghost. Chase Brown, 21 for 43. Jamar Chase was a ghost. You only gave him 2 targets. T. Higgins was a ghost. The defense came up clutch, though, but overall was a ghost. Browns, there's nothing to talk about here at all. Joe Flacco is just not good anymore. 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Sanders, the running back, even had a score, too. But there's nothing to talk about. This game was just boring. There was just nothing special about it. And now we have the Daniel Jones-led Colts absolutely stomping the Miami Dolphins. I'm just going to go right over to the Colts. Daniel Jones was absolutely fantastic. Run game, receiving game. Tyler Warren, I told you he was going to be an absolute monster. Fire Mike McDaniel. And now we got the Raiders beating the Patriots. This game was very interesting. Geno Smith was absolutely fantastic, even though he did have an ugly pick. Ashton Jeanty, from what I got to see, wasn't that effective, but did have a score as well. Brock Bowers was phenomenal as usual. Trey Tucker had a score. Going over the Patriots now, Drake May was a gunslinger. He was absolutely fantastic, 287. The run game was absolutely useless. Nothing to talk about there. Keyshawn Bout was phenomenal, 6 for 103. Stephon Diggs made his presence known, though, 6 for 57. Defense was trying to get something going at the end, but wasn't able to stop this Raiders offense. The Raiders, in my opinion, Brock Bowers, he's completely fine. Ashton Jeanty, it's his first game. Don't judge him off his first game. Good game, Raiders. And now we got the Commanders absolutely stomping on the Giants. And listen, when I go to the Giants, there's nothing to talk about here. A 45 completion percentage. There's literally nothing to talk about at all. I guess Malik Neighbors was fine, but just the Giants, there's nothing to talk about. They were a fart. Jaden Daniels was not that accurate. Threw a touchdown, though, but, man, Deebo, one guy I got to talk about, man, Deebo Samuel actually looked really good. 7 for 77, and even had a score on the ground. That was great. Commanders, you guys looked okay. It's the Giants also. Russell Wilson needs to be benched immediately. That's all I'm going to say about this game. Now we got the Broncos barely beating the Titans. And one thing I'm going to say, Cam Ward is an absolute baller. His team is just absolutely terrible. Dude, what is going on with Calvin Ridley? He had, one of the worst drops I've ever seen. Tony Pollard was good, I guess, but Cam Ward, the stat line makes it sound a lot worse than it actually was. Bo Nix, though, however, he was not that good. The run game, R.J. Harvey and J.K. Dobbins really saved your guys' offense. J.K. Dobbins was even effective in the receiving game when needed. Courtland Sutton also made his presence known. Courtland Sutton, I feel like, is one of the most underrated, if not the most underrated receivers in the league. The defense, again, what made its presence very known. John A. Barrett had a forced fumble even. Again, what I'm going to say about Cam Ward, he's not a bad quarterback. He will not be a bad quarterback. But just, if the Titans refuse to get him any help, then what more do you want him to do? And now we got the snoozer of the week. We have the 49ers beating the Seahawks in what was an absolute stinker of a game. Sorry, I'm still not feeling that great. Brock Purdy, 26 for 35. He was accurate, but 2 ugly turnovers. Brock Purdy's he was not that good. Christian McCaffrey made his presence very known. Also, 9 for 73 in the receiving game. Man, he's back. George Kittle, I feel so bad for him. He got hurt. Defense was locked down all day. Looking at the Seahawks now, Sam Darnold, 16 for 23, 150. Nothing to talk about there. Zach Charbonnet got 12 carries, more than Kenneth Walker. Isn't Kenneth Walker supposed to be this electric running back? Receiving, was really led by Jackson Smith and Jigba. He was absolutely amazing. Dang. Defense did not play that bad. It's just the fact that their offense, besides JSN, could not get a single thing going. Kenneth Walker, I fear to say, but Kenneth Walker might be terrible, not going to lie. And now we got the Packers absolutely stomping the Lions, and the score makes it look a lot closer than it actually was. Jared Goff, he was very accurate. Jared Goff actually played great, but his team just failed him, honestly. Jahmyr Gibbs was absolutely horrible running the ball. He was not that good in the passing game, even though he did have 10 receptions. Amon-Ra St. Brown was a ghost. Sam Laporta was, honestly, his stat line looks fine, but he was also kind of a ghost. The defense could not stop a nosebleed. Going over the Packers now, Jordan Love was exceptional. He only threw for 188 yards, but 2 touchdowns, no picks, was very accurate. Josh Jacobs led the rushing game, 19 for 66 and a score. Matthew Golden actually looked good, even though he got two receptions. Tucker Kraft had a score. Jaden Reed had a score. Romeo Doubs led receiving. But Micah Parsons, man, the man of the hour. A lot of QB pressures and got a sack there at the end, along with Devontae Wyatt over here. Overall, Packers, you guys look great. Micah Parsons is going to help out that defense a lot. Lions, I bet you're missing Ben Johnson, aren't you? Okay, forget about what I said about the 49ers. This was the snoozer of the week. We got the Rams beating the Texans, and it's plain and simple. The front office has failed C.J. Stroud. I mean, his O-line absolutely is awful. Like, he was under pressure all night, and it's just not getting any better. Nick Chubb actually balled out. Their receiving game was just a ghost. Their whole offense, their secondary was getting burnt by this guy right here, Puka Nacua, 10 for 130. That is actually insane. Devontae Adams made his presence known also. Matt Stafford was honestly really good. He looked insane. Kyron Williams also looked great. The Rams offense looked good, but it's just they couldn't generate anything at the end of that game. But it did really help that C.J. Stroud was under pressure basically all night, because even though the stats don't say it, the Rams defense was really good. And now we got the game of the year, or I think it's going to be held up as the game of the year. One of the best comebacks of all time. We got the Bills beating and stunning the Ravens. Coach Harbaugh, what are you doing? Why are you only throwing the ball 19 times with Lamar Jackson? I know he was great on the run game. I know Derrick Henry was great on the run game as well, but Derrick Henry also had a costly fumble that honestly changed all the momentum of the game. Zay Flowers had a career year. But honestly, remember that secondary, that overall defense, that Ravens defense that was supposed to be so great that I tried telling everybody was not that good? Well, there you go. Those are the scraps that you're left with. Josh Allen, MVP, man. He's going to win back-to-back MVPs. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Out of 46 attempts, still held a 71 completion percentage, 394 yards, won me a fantasy game. Josh Allen, 14 for 30 on the ground, also 2 scores on the ground. James Cook had a score on the ground. It took every single person on this Bills team to come back and beat the Ravens. And I don't even care about the MVP debate anymore. These are the 2 best quarterbacks in the league, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, but Josh Allen is the MVP. This is why. And now we have the Vikings absolutely stunning the Bears in a great comeback. J.J. McCarthy was not that good. I will say that. He to start the game, I mean, this final stat line looks all right, but in general, he just was not that good. He had a score on the ground, that's what I will tell you. Aaron Jones, even though his stats don't look that great, he was still very effective in the receiving game as well. Caught an absolute bomb from J.J. McCarthy. Justin Jefferson looks like Justin Jefferson. He caught a clutch score. Defense was great at the end of the game. Looking at the Bears now, Caleb Williams looks like just a completely different quarterback under Ben Johnson. He looked actually really good. Also had a score on the ground. DeAndre Swift even had 53 yards. Receiving was led by DJ Moore, 3 for 68. But Rome Odunze did have a score. I was a very happy boy after that fantasy. Defense was an absolute crap show at the end. And that's the reason they lost. Good game, Minnesota. Bears, I would not be worried. Caleb Williams looks great. And that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for my Week 1 NFL reactions. Tonight, there will be a podcast episode that drops. We will be covering all of this, in the podcast, as well as some college football content. So I'm going to get this video finished up to get it out to you guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see y'all guys the next time I upload. Peace.